YouTube, what's up? And welcome back to part 6 in the Pokemon LeafGreen playthrough using only Poison-type Pokemon. Today, we are finally going to acquire the 6th and final member of the squad in Tentacool, which will be replacing Bellsprout up there. But before we can go surf in the ocean to find the jellyfish, we're going to have to go through the Safari Zone to grab the HM03 for Surf, and then we also have to go take down Koga to earn our 5th gym badge in this playthrough, which will then enable us to jump in the water and surf and go get Tentacool. Alright, so let's go ahead and head up to the Safari Zone. And actually, I want to talk about Gastly real quick too, but I'll do it as we get over to the entrance here. Well, there's a Slowpoke. I wish I could use that, but it ain't a poison type, so... Let me actually go ahead and bust out the running shoes. We'll cut this bush too. So, let's talk about Gastly for a second, because... during the previous episode, I did mention that there was like a 70% chance I was going to catch a new one and train it up. And there was only going to be like a 30% chance that I would keep the original one that we had, which was the mild nature Gastly with a pretty bad special attack IV. So the more I was thinking about it, because look, this is a casual playthrough, right? It doesn't really matter. But I did like the mild nature because it boosts special attack. But I didn't like the really bad IV. But let's be honest, man. All my Pokemon probably have awful IVs, so after I ended the recording, the more I was thinking about it, I just decided to go ahead and roll with this Gastly, the same original mild nature one that we caught. And also, like, this thing has 62 special attack now because I trained it up all the way to level 24, right? As you can see, 81 experience points away from becoming a Haunter here at level 25, so 62 special attack is pretty good, right? Because not only the mild nature, but as I was growing at levels from, I think we caught it at 16, right? Yeah. So I grew at 8 levels here, and how I did that was I just hung out in the Pokemon Tower, and I dominated a bunch of other Gastlys in there. It was really easy, right? Because the wild Gastlys, like, they all have this moveset here. So oftentimes, they would click Curse, the enemy Gastlys, and they would just KO themselves. So it was like free experience points, right? And then, the cool thing about training inside the tower, too, is it's like, the only dungeon in the game where there's actually basically a Pokemon Center inside the dungeon, right? Normally you have to go outside and heal, head back to a Pokemon Center if you're in caves or different forests like that, but the Pokemon Tower has that little purification zone, that weird looking, you know, floor tile, and I just was grinding against Gastlys right next to that, and I kept like re-stepping on the tile just to fully heal myself anytime I took damage, right? So it was just a lick fest, Gastlys on Gastlys, but the difference is I never clicked Curse, and the wild Gastlys did, so easy money in terms of farming experience. And let me actually go ahead and throw this thing in front, even though we can't get experience in the Safari Zone, but we'll get it later. Now, one last thing, right, because, you know, towards the end of Part 5, I didn't want to use the TM Psychic for this thing yet, because, again, I wasn't sure if I was going to go catch another one, or use this one, so... now that I've committed to this Gastly, we're going to go ahead and rip the Psychic TM on this thing. And I'm going to be extremely underleveled for the fight against Koga today, which is not great. But the good news is, you know, being a Ghost and Poison type, I do quad resist all poison attacks with this thing. So I'm going to be at a huge disadvantage in terms of levels, but, you know, maybe I can live a hit because of the quad resist. We'll see. I don't know how this is going to go down, but let's just hope when I evolve into Haunter that I'm fast enough to outspeed a lot of Koga's Pokemon, and then also strong enough to at least OHKO the not fully evolved Mons and maybe two-shot like his Weezing and Muck or whatever. Either way, though, let's go ahead and jump in the Safari Zone, have a little fun with it today. It's always cool going to the Safari Zone, right? But in this playthrough, I mean, there is poison types in here, but we already have the team set in stone. I will go ahead and catch whatever I can in terms of just trying to increase the number of Pokemon in the Dex, right? So whatever we bump into as we go grab Surf, we'll just start chucking balls at it, because we do need to get to I'll take this, why not? We do need to get to 60 eventually in the Dex for the national Dex, right? But also, starting off today, I think we're at 38 Pokemon, and getting to 40 is relevant because we will also be able to get the Amulet coin today when we head back up to Celadon City. Execute. Please just cooperate with the program here. Whatever. And so, you know, once we get to 40, we just got to catch like 2 Pokemon in here. And actually, when I evolve Gastly into Haunter, that also counts for something in the deck. So this is going to be easy. Well, if I can ever catch anything. And then, you know, we'll probably head back to Celadon at the end of the episode to grab the Amulet coin as well. So I'll go ahead and get caught up on chat here in a sec. I've been talking so much, I didn't even look over at the chat. I'm kind of locked in on this Venonat, though. Oh, Pokopia just has Vermilion, Fuchsia, and Celadon. I mean, that's still cool, though. Interesting. Yeah, right, the Venusaur Evo was that big. We'll see, we'll see. Realistically, though, like today, against Koga, right, this is going to be the ultimate test of who is the Poison-type master. This is kind of like a cool part in the playthrough, right? We finally have a mono-poison team against a mono-poison team, but the difference between me and Koga is I have very diverse movesets on my Pokemon. Bro, it probably only has like Sludge on everybody, so, you know, even though he's going to have much higher level Pokemon than I do, he can't damage my Pokemon, so, because his movesets are just garbage. I kind of like my odds in this situation. This game will get the rest of Kanto and the Sevis. What, Pokopia? That would be cool. That would make it really expensive. Alright, we finally catch this Execute. And that should actually put me at 40 already, which is perfect. But again, whatever else I can find in here, I will... Ooh, we actually need a Leaf Stone. That's good. I don't think there's anything else down there. Because we can evolve that Execute, but I also do have a Weeping Bell in the box. Let me grab Sunny Day as well. TM11. Now we have both Rain Dance and Sunny Day. Not bad. I think I already... Yeah. We already have Paras. Although that one was higher level. Probably could have evolved that into Parasect for the Dex. I should go ahead and grab a Paras, because I think the other one I have was from Mount Moon, which was super low level. So we'll see. We already got Nidoran. Although, we could potentially get a male Nidoran. Oh, I thought there was an item here. Whoops. Because then, you know, Nidoran, Nidorino, and Nidoking would be 3 quick additions to the Dex. Just need more Moonstones first. And while we're in here too, we could also fish. Again, the whole point of coming in here right now though is just for Surf. Why do I find this thing in every single playthrough? Dog. Nah. We just gonna put that right back on the ground for somebody else to find. No. I do want to go grab Steel Wing up here though. Even though, you know, I ain't gonna teach it to Golbat because Steel Wing is pretty garbage. It really only helps you beat rock types. Speaking of a rock type, take this. This is like the 3rd stream in a row where I found the Quick Claw, right? We just found it yesterday in Fire Red Team Rocket Edition, and then, or it was last week on stream in Pokemon Gaia. I was like, why do I keep finding Quick Claw, man? Okay, there's nothing over there. This is pretty funny. We don't need that. A little protein, we always like those. That's a good one. I wonder how easy it would be to like, okay. I haven't tried to do the getting encounters without moving around in this game. See, this one's higher level. Let me see if I can get this. Higher level than the one I have from Mount Moon. I'm about to throw a rock at this thing. See if it's a better chance to catch it. Don't flee. Perfect. But that was like the first time, you know, with the Switch controller trying to see if I could spin around in place. That way you get unlimited encounters in the Dex. In the Safari Zone, and then you can just kind of stay here forever. But again, it's not the point of what I'm doing right now. Oh, I hit it too hard. I'll come back here. Let me do like 2-3 more encounters. Just in case we find a shiny. That'd be lit. But I'll come back here later to catch other stuff. And try to increase the number in the decks. Damn, that Nidoran right there is almost the same level as my Nidoqueen. Pretty crazy. There's Nidorina. I already got these in the decks, man. Where are we at here? There we are. Although, this thing has a pretty tough catch rate, so I'm gonna have to chuck a rock at it. See if we can get him to stick around. Oh. Oh. Come on, buddy. We still need the baby form of this for the dex, but that's big. We just use Moonstone on it. A little 2-for-1 special. And you know what? While I'm standing next to this pond, how about we drop some line in the water a couple times? Because I did get the Super Rod. Let's do this. Let me register it real quick. I don't think I ever grabbed the good rod when I got to Fuchsia, but we do have the Super Rod. We'll fish right in the corner, see if we can find some Dratinis hiding in the corner. 0 for 1. 0 for 2. Little strike 2 right here. Yeah. 0 for 3. We move on to a new area. I'll stand on the sand here. And just like that, we find a Pokemon. Don't give me the Goldines though. My goat. Ain't no way, bro. Honestly, I didn't even know Slowpoke was in here. I thought it was just, I thought it was only Goldines and Dratinis. Really? Interesting. Okay. We add Slowpoke to the dex. Not bad, not bad. Then, dopey Pokemon, the goat. We'll just do 2 more encounters though, see if we can get something else. And then I'll grab the golden dentures and surf, and then we'll get out of here. Let's see if we can find that little dragon, though. Of course. Level 16 is really bad. Or, not bad, but just really low. I'm not going to evolve this one into Seaking. We'll try to find a higher level one later in the game. It's got a good... Yeah! Galarian Slowpoke. That's a good call. That would have been perfect. G-King is such a sick Pokemon. I'm not a huge fan of Galarian Slowbro, cause regular Slowbro is just perfect. The OG one, it's way better. But Galarian, I do like Galarian Slowking over regular Slowking. I do. All right, so that's another Goldeen. So Cantonian Slowbro is the best bro, and Galarian Slowking is the best. Alright, we'll grab the dentures. What is this, like double team or something? Yeah, what a garbage TM. Then we get Surf and we out, man. Not bad. That was good progress though. We caught like a half dozen Pokemon right there for the dex. Ah, finally. You're the first person to reach the secret house. It wasn't that hard, so I'm not sure. Who are the other kids that come in the Safari Zone? They must be kind of confused. Although I made a campaign for our grand opening, I was getting worried that no one would win our campaign prize. Congratulations! You have won! And there we go, we got Surf. HM03 is Surf. A Pokemon will be able to ferry you across water using it. And this HM isn't disposable, so you can use it over and over. You're super lucky for winning this fabulous prize. I know. Alright, and with that, might as well just click the retire button, so we don't have to, you know, walk the remaining 87 steps there. Not bad, not bad. I was gonna fly, because it's quicker to get back to the Pokemon Center if you just fly to town. But unfortunately, nobody in the party can learn fly. So never mind. We'll just cut these bushes then. Alright, Koga. Here we come, buddy. Although I might as well take out one of these bird keepers over here. At least evolve this thing into Haunter real quick. Because I still have not fought any of these No, you know what? We're going to save all these trainers for when I get the Amulet coin. Which I could actually get right now. Because we definitely went over 40. We started at 38, so we caught 5 Pokemon in there. Alright, let's go ahead and just jump in here and we'll take out the first handful of trainers. Because you got to remember, after you beat the gym leader, you can't come back and rebattle these trainers, right? So, might as well do it now. And then the other trainers outside of the gym, we save for when we get the Amulet coin. Best way to max money. I got Beedrill with Twin Needle, but I don't know how well I could tank a Psychic. This thing's at level 38, bro. Holy moly. Hopefully it just has Confusion, because I could live that. Oh, it has... Yeah, that's a one-shot. I messed up. Oh, I lived. There's no way. This will probably not even do half. Well, it will do half, but... Oh, we get a crit. That's wild. Damn, imagine... Oh, he went for Meditate. What a scrub. I was going to say, imagine if Gastly's faster. I could have switched back to it to finish this off. Okay. GG's, buddy. Bro clicks Meditate when I have 3 HP. You gotta love it. Okay. And just like that, we have a Haunter. Perfect. Thank you, Caden, for not clicking Psychic there. And going for Meditate for some odd reason. Okay. Not bad. Now, did I remember to download the Haunter sprite ahead of time? Probably not. But let me check before I go do that. Oh, I do have it. Okay. And there we go. Update it in 3, 2, 1. Ninja is trying to learn Shadow Punch. Better than Lick. Even though, again, Lick and Shadow Punch are both physical attacks, but I'll take that over Lick. That's not bad. What up, Bork Nugget? How you doing today? Good morning, good morning. Welcome in. You're joining at an epic time. We're about to go take down Koga. In the true test of who is the Poison-type master. Between this squad that we got right here and Koga's Poison types. I need to go heal Swizzle, by the way. Because that next trainer has a bunch of Psychic types. For some reason, like or not all of them, but most of these trainers have Psychic types in this gym. It's very odd. That's what's up, man. I appreciate it. Okay. Now look, like I said earlier, Haunter's level 25, and Koga nearly has level 40s. It's like high 30s if I remember right. Oh, by the way, we should hook bro up with his dentures and get strength. Might as well do this while we're here. Here you go, buddy. Pop those things back in. Yeah, the warden popped in his teeth. Thanks, son. You're a real lifesaver. No one could understand a word that I said, not a one. I was too ashamed to show my face around the office, even. Let me give you something for your trouble. There we go, we got strength. Probably gonna put that on Nidoqueen. Yeah, okay, I have an idea. Oh, he doesn't say anything else. I'm not gonna teach strength yet and get that rare candy because I want to do something else, so... In order to, well, I'm just realizing that I made an effort to get Body Slam for Nidoqueen, like I evolved it at a certain time, and I don't think I clicked Body Slam at all during this whole playthrough. But, we're gonna replace Body Slam right now for Surf. We use Surf to catch Tentacool, and then once we do, we delete Surf off the moveset and replace it with Strength. That's gonna be the play there. Again, I was talking about it last time, potentially deleting Dig, because we can go rebuy the TM. But realistically, Body Slam's going to go at some point anyway, because like we might as well keep Strength to go all the way through Victory Road, and then probably replace Strength with something like Superpower. The Nidoqueen learns at I think like 43 or something like that. So Body Slam is really cool, right? 85 base power, normal attack is not great, but 85 base power is decent, and the 30% chance to get a para, I really like that. I've always loved Body Slam as an attack. But realistically, I don't know. We're probably not going to be able to keep Body Slam for like the Elite Four fights. Let's just get rid of it now. Alright, I'm gonna use Golbat and Swizzle here to kind of dominate a bunch of these Psychics because, well, Golbat only has Bite. It's not ideal, but Swizzle got that Stab Twin Needle, so we can get some easy Okos here. I was a magician once upon a time, but I dreamt of becoming a ninja, so I joined this gym. Yeah, well, you ain't gonna do much against... By the way, you have the wrong type Pokemon, man. If you want to join the gym, you gotta have poison types. Who is this guy? Level 31 Drowsies? Damn. I always remember there's 2 trainers that you have to fight in this gym. This is one of them. But like this fool has like 3 Drowsies and a Kadabra. And I think the other guy on the far left side of the gym here has just a Drowsy and a Hypno, but they're like higher level. But realistically, we should be able to one-shot everything this guy has. Although that's a roll. Okay, get a crit. Kadabra might go down to a single needle, because it has -3 for a physical defensive stat. We'll see. 62 in physical attack now. Respectable. And here's Kadabra. Can we take it out with 1 needle at 25 base power? Yeah, we can. That's funny. Classic. 1,000 experience points, too. Is pretty damn good. Alright. Not bad. That was a free, like, level and a half right there for T-Swizzle. Now, again, for the gym fight against Koga, right? My plan kind of going into this, because I don't know how this is going to work out being so underleveled, but, you know, we have Nidoqueen that can deal with Muck, but all of his coughings and wheezings have, like, Levitate, right? So we can't use Dig with Nidoqueen. Damn it. I was trying to avoid this guy, but I got sniped. Basically, I'm kind of hoping that Haunter can just Oko the coughings and 2-shot the wheezing. Is that possible? I don't know. We're about to find out here in a little bit. I'm still going to win the fight, because Koga ain't going to be able to damage anybody on my team. We might be in for a little bit of a dogfight there. Let's go out to Jazzy and dig this snake. It's also very nice to have, because doesn't Koga give you Toxic, right? And again, I've said this I think every episode now, but it's nice to have 6 poison types because he can't even click Toxic. It's like, you can't poison my poison type, so... This is weird. I didn't even think about some of these things like going into this playthrough, but the further I've gotten into it, might as well click Surf. First time we get to see it, but it ain't gonna be on Nidoqueen for long. But I didn't even realize that going into this playthrough, right? I just wanted to do it with all poison types to kind of make it a little bit of a challenge. And just kind of, we're like uncovering subtle nuances about this kind of monotype team as we go here. So it's been really fun. This is a good idea. Another Arbok. Now Dig is, it's still a 2-shot, but it's going to do a lot less because now I got intimidated. And it'll be interesting too to try and find another move for Venusaur, right? Jazzy had a good idea about returning Dig, or about using Dig, not Dig. I'm clicking, sorry. I got distracted as I was clicking Dig. Jazzy had a good idea about using the TM for return on Venusaur, so probably what I'm going to go with. I don't really know what else we can get for Venusaur in terms of coverage. It really doesn't get much. But only being like mono attacking grass really puts me at a disadvantage just trying to level up Venusaur, right? Because dodge this guy too. Because it's like if I'm going up against something that resists grass, which a lot of things do, I kind of just have to switch Venusaur out. So I don't like having the starter Pokemon like being not the weakest, but kind of like the most like niche Pokemon, right? Where we can only really do stuff with the single grass attack. So I gotta find something else for Venusaur. Yeah, right. Right. Exactly, like against Blaine. Yeah, see, this one lives. I remember that's what you said. You were using Return to, like, win some of those fights with your Venusaur. Let's go for Aerial Ace. Because apart from that, I don't even know what else we can get. Because was the double edge tutor in Fire Red Leaf Green, or was that only in Hoenn? I know there was a Gen 3 move tutor for double edge, but I don't remember if it was here or in Hoenn. Twin Needle has a chance to poison? I told you guys I've never really used Beedrill before. I legit had no idea Twin Needle has a secondary effect of poison. That's kind of embarrassing to admit, being a big of a Pokemon nerd as I am. But that goes to show that I've never really used Beedrill before. You know, apart from like evolving it before Brock's Gym and then you just bench it. At that point, you just kind of evolve it in the Dex early game. Really? Oh, okay, you think Double Edge was in this game somewhere? Yeah, I can't remember where it is. It may poison the foe. Interesting. Huh. Legit never knew that. Okay, Ninja, come on out to the front of the party. Well, this is gonna get interesting here. Might as well use a, let's see if I have any hold items as well that might help. Might help Haunter in this situation. Let's top everybody off here, and let's get the 5th gym badge in this playthrough. Let me look for hold items and berries real quick. Well, actually, Black Glasses would help bite on Golbat, but I'm just gonna leave the. We could also throw lefties on something. I'll do leftovers for a gym fight. We'll throw them on Jazzy here. But I'm going to take them off because I don't like playing the whole game with leftovers. Even though it's really good, it does, I might have to use this iron too on Ninja. Try to live an extra hit or two. And the protein we can give to... How about the T-Swizzle? You can use some protein. Yeah, I got nothing else that would really help Haunter in this situation. So maybe a berry, but, you know, all he's going to do is click Toxic, so I don't think a berry is even going to help. Unless I have, like, a Citrus. Or an berry. I do have a Citrus, but only one. Why not? Ninja could have an Oran Berry. Alright. Let's do this, man. Koga? Look, man. Word on the street is, you are the Poison-type master of the Kanto region. However, right, titles, championships don't live forever, man. Once in a while, you know, eventually everyone's reign will come to an end. And today, you no longer will be the Poison Master of the Kanto region. It's time to hand over the belt to a new Poison Master. My name is Dude. Nice to meet you. Fwahaha. A mere child like you dares to challenge me. The very idea makes me shiver with mirth. Yeah, well, you're going to be shivering because you're going to get dominated, buddy. Very well. I shall show you true terror as a ninja master. Poison brings steady doom. Sleep renders foes helpless. You don't even have anybody that can, you know, put anything to sleep, but okay. Despair to the creeping horror of Poison-type Pokémon. Yeah, well, I could say the same thing to you, man. And I actually am packing Psychic coverage, unlike you. Alright, he's got 4 Mons, coughing. At level 37? Bro, this thing is 12 levels higher, but you know what? Hold on. We never even checked Ninja's special attack after it evolved. This might be like mid-80s, low 90s. Okay. I'm gonna hold that L real quick. It only went up to 73. That's kind of funny. I thought it was gonna be at least like 80. Anyway, are we strong enough to OHKO coughing with a Psychic? Let's find out. We're faster. Not really surprising. No, he lives. Don't explode. Alright. We quad resist Sludge. I don't think it's even going to do half. That's pitiful damage. Good news is, he might actually waste a potion here. He does. Dumbass. So that's actually like, that was actually best case scenario that we did not one-shot that thing because, think about it. Had he used a potion on Muck or Weezing, that would have made this fight a lot harder. But he wasted on a lead coughing, who's just going to get outsped in one shot now. So, complete waste of a potion, man. Oh, Victory Road is double-edged move tutor. You're right. I think it's the guy at the very, very end of Victory Road. Like right as you leave, right? It's like the last guy right before the exit. Okay. This is going to be the most problematic thing in this fight. And it's almost at level 40, my goodness. So let's think this through, right? Because Muck does have Minimize, which could make this very annoying if I start missing attacks. But this is a big decision right here, because obviously Jazz can blow this thing up with a dig, right? Well, it'd probably take 2 digs because it's such a high level. But I can't really damage it apart from dig. Like Psychic's probably a 3 shot, maybe even a 4 shot, because he's 14 levels higher, and Muck has really good SpDef. I just thought of something. I might make a bad decision right here. Good morning. I hope the same for you. It's going good, man. We're gonna dominate Koga right here, but I got a tough decision to make, and a very risky one at that. Because I don't think Psychic is gonna do much, I actually might go for Curse here. Now, coming into this fight, I was kind of hoping Muck would come out last, so we could deal with it at that point. Because I want to save this for the Weezing, right? We need to hit Weezing with Psychic. But I think I have to go Curse here. Which means I probably don't live a hit, and then we don't have this for Weezing. But Muck's going to be very annoying if he starts clicking Minimize. Oh, I get my Oranberry. Oh. Acid Armor's really bad, actually. I forgot this thing has that. Now Jazzy can't even really damage it with Dig. Okay, hold on. We got options, we got options. Let's see how much Psychic does then. Because look, we're going to chip 25% with Curse every turn. Okay, that also does about 25. If he doesn't take me out right here, we get him next turn. Do I live Sludge? 14 levels lower. Yes! The quad resistance coming in clutch. Oh, he's KO'd. Because we got the SpDef drop. Probably would have taken it out without the SpDef drop, but that was super lucky. Let's go, Ninja. MVP right here. Nah, that was crazy, actually. That was crazy. We would have lived that on 1 HP if we didn't have the Oranberry, but it was, we might be able to one-shot this one now. We almost got the lead one, which was same level. Yeah. Okay, we crit. Oh, nah, Ninja going crazy right now. GG's, Koga. Get smoked, fool. Can we one-shot? No, there's no way. Because we... level 43? My goodness. We probably... Okay, we do actually outspeed it. I wouldn't have been surprised if we didn't. Doesn't even do half is crazy. Sludge will definitely take me out. But good job, Ninja. Absolutely clutch performance right there against Muck. That was crazy. We could go Jazz, try to burn this thing. Also, I mean, look. What is this guy going to do to me? He can't damage my team. All he has is Sludge. So I think we just spam Flamethrower. Try to get a little cheeky burn to help it go down faster. That's almost a 2-shot. And I can switch around Smokescreen, so I ain't worried about this. Could also go Venusaur and Leech Seed if this thing does become a problem. Because look, now that it's his last Pokemon, he can't switch it out to reset the Leech. Tackle. Nice. You know what? I'm going to bring in Venusaur just to kind of split the experience here. I do need to get some levels on this thing. We're just going to take it out with a Razor Leaf. He has 2 Hyper Potions, never mind. This guy's so annoying. That's fine. We leech it. I mean, hopefully that's his last Hyper Potion, but this is just going to help it go down quicker here. Wow, that's a lot of damage. But I can take another one, so I'm going to try to put it to sleep. Which we do connect. And then I could probably just go back to Nidoqueen. Well, now I can't burn it, though, because he's sleeping. But this is where, like, not being able to catch Tentacool yet is kind of an issue, because I don't have any other special attacks. Venusaur's the only one that has special attack at this point. No, Golbat has bite. And Jazz has special attacks. Okay, he's got a full heal as well. What a scrub. This guy's healed 3 times in battle. Absolute potato, man. But Leech Seed is helping, and I don't think he'd have a 3rd potion. I think they only have 2. So he does the full heal as if I'm not just going to put him right back to sleep. Get outplayed, Koga. This is nasty work right here by Venusaur. I'm about to just stay in and click Razor Leaf twice. In conjunction with the Leech, I'm going to go down to 2 Razor Leafs. Unless I get like a random crit. Nah, he would still... Yeah, he would still actually live. Alright, well that's GG's, assuming he doesn't have 1 more potion. But no, that was crazy work right there by Haunter at level 25. Oh, I missed. Damn. But bro never wakes up. He gets off 1 sludge against Venusaur, which did a lot because it's neutral, but... That's GG's, buddy. See ya, Koga. Give me that copy of Toxic, man. Because I'm the most toxic trainer in Kanto, not you, bro. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was the moment in time when Koga forfeited his position as gym leader of Fuchsia City and ran off to the Indigo Plateau. And that's why this moment in time right here is why Koga then becomes an Elite Four member, you know, in the Johto games. This is the moment right here where bro decided to step down because he's no longer the strongest poison-type trainer, right? Now he knows he's got to do something else, right? He can't keep up this gig any longer. Oh, by the way, we got the soul badge too. Let me enable this real quick. Also, the soul badge is kind of funny, right? Because it does, let me put it here. It does kind of look like a tongue, right? And Haunter's got that big tongue. It's kind of fitting that Haunter was like MVP of that fight, and the badge looks like a tongue. Now that you have the soul badge, the defense of your Pokemon rises. It also lets you surf outside of battle. Ah, take this too. TM06, Toxic. Sealed within that TM06 lies Toxic. It is a secret technique dating back some 400 years. That's almost as old, or actually it's a little bit older than Koume and Kotake, the twin Rova sisters from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Okay, not bad. Not bad, not bad. Now, we finally catch the 6th and final member of the squad. Because we can now finally surf in the water. So let's go do that. Actually, I might as well heal up, though. And probably put Venusaur in front, because I can put stuff to sleep. It'll make the catch rate a little bit easier. Oh, okay. Lefties are also coming off Nidoqueen now. Not bad, not bad. Let's do it, man. You already know, Surf City. We getting that Tentacool, nicknaming it Dre. And this is going to be the full squad that we run through the whole rest of the game with. All the way through the Elite Four. Shoutouts Beedrill. Again, I have my doubts about Beedrill. Again, I've used them before. I've used Beedrills in other Kanto playthroughs. You know, ever since I was a kid. But by the time you get to the 2nd gym, you always end up benching Beedrill. Because it's just, the stats are pretty bad. Moveset's not great. We're going to cook with the B in this playthrough, for real. Okay, I do still have Pokeballs, right? I do. I'm gonna catch it in a regular Pokeball again because the rest of the team is that, and I kind of like. It's very aesthetically pleasing to have all 6 Pokemon on the team in the same ball, right? I know a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with this, but a lot of people like to match the color of the Pokeball with Tentacool at level 9. No, thank you. You need to get one much higher level than that. I do like how a lot of people try to catch Pokemon with a Pokeball that like matches the color scheme of the Pokemon. But for me, growing up playing sports, I always like to have level 7. What are we doing here? Is that how these things come? I need something better than that. But with my sports background, I like to always have all 6 Pokemon on my team be in the same Pokeball. If I can, usually I like the Great Ball because that's my favorite one. Because it looks like a baseball, right? But it's always best to have, in my opinion, because then it's kind of like they're all wearing the same jersey, right? It's a team thing. Kind of relates to sports, right? So if everybody's in a red Pokeball, all 6 Pokemon, then it's like they all got red jerseys on, you know, type thing. I don't really want to go all the way down to Seafoam. I'm just trying to catch jellyfish here. But to try to save myself from having to do so much offline grinding, I'm looking for a high level Tentacool here. But they're all less than level 10. How do we get the better Tentacools? Maybe that's in, maybe over in Route 12? I guess at this point, let's just go all the way to Seafoam then. This is weird. I should be, yeah, I am, bro. I'm very particular about that. You know, I do like and I do respect how people do that. You know, having like 6 different Pokeballs all to match the... I think it's super cool to match the Pokeballs with the Pokemon color scheme. Like, that's cool, but for me, because it's a team game, right? You don't want to have too many individual, right? There's no I in team, right? There is a me, but you get the point. There's no I in team. So to make it feel more like a team, I like to have all 6 of them in the same Pokeballs. In my head, that just makes sense because, you know, I grew up playing sports. I'm so confused at the levels in these jellyfish here. Should I fly back to Pallet Town and surf down towards, what is this? Like 90% of them are less than level 10. I don't get it. Dude, I really do too. There's no way she sniped me like that from downtown. Seafoam is a quiet getaway. I'm vacationing here. I didn't ask. Yeah, I don't know if you heard my spiel before about changing Pokeballs or like Pokeball customization. I'm about to say it again. I'm also about to Oko the Sea Dragon with a Razor Leaf because it has horrible special defense. But like Game Freak has added every feature that we could have ever asked for growing up in terms of adjusting your Pokemon, right? They invented Nature Mints to change, you know, natures that weren't good. They invented bottle caps to fix the IVs. They've even invented the ability pill and ability capsule, right, to change abilities. So we have nearly complete customization on our Pokemon. The only thing we can't do is switch Pokeballs. And a lot of these fan-made games do implement a feature like that, which is really, really cool. And we go 3 for 3 with the Leaf. Not bad. And I'm really hoping for Wind and Waves in Gen 10 that Game Freak finally lets us change around the Pokeballs. That would be the coolest feature, man. It really would. Because, you know, back in the day, you might have caught a wild Bulbasaur in like a friend ball, and you want to change it to a Safari ball. Just give us the options, man. The more customization, the better. And look, as a kid growing up, I never even dreamed or even thought that we would ever get something like Nature Mints or bottle caps. I never thought that would be a thing. And it is. So why not get the same thing with Pokeballs, man? Yeah, it's not asking for much, right? It's a very small aesthetic change. You know, competitively, the other stuff is of course is more important. Natures and the bottle caps and even the abilities, swapping abilities. So that stuff's super cool. I'm really happy they added that, but something that doesn't affect competitive but would just be aesthetically pleasing is the Pokeball thing. Okay, I'm gonna kind of give up on this little patch of water. I don't know what's happening with the Tentacools here, but we need higher level ones. What about over here in Fuchsia? I don't know what happens if you surf in the little puddle back here, but there might be different mons. This is kind of odd, though. This I think there's different Pokemon in here. Oh, more Slowpokes. Nice. She no-scoped me. Sorry, I missed that comment. That was funny. You made me laugh right there. She really did no-scope. She hit me with that 360 no-scope right there in the middle of the ocean. That was crazy. Where else is there? I'm gonna run and go grab a Pidgeotto out the box. I didn't think it was gonna be this much of a struggle to catch Dre the Tentacool here. Realistically, you know, I can just catch any Tentacool, right? And, where are we at? Where's Pidgeotto? I'm gonna use this thing to fly me around here. Because Golbat can't learn fly. You know, I could just catch a Tentacool at less than level 10, but it's gonna cause me to grind a whole bunch of levels off stream to get it caught up with the rest of the party here, right? So I'm just looking for something, and ideally, you know, at least the low 20s, but ideally mid 20s. We could surf here on Route 12. Route 20 is an L, though. And this is Route 21. Let's go try Route 12. I feel like, to a certain extent, I'm just kind of getting unlucky because I feel like there's a wide range of levels where you can get Tentacools. Is it better to surf? It doesn't really matter which side of the gatehouse. I feel like Tentacools, you know, like surfing encounters have a wide range of levels usually. It's like anywhere from level 5 to 40 type thing. You know? Could I grind this up from level 6? Yeah, I could. But I don't feel like it. It's gonna take so much extra time. But at this point, for the sake of the recording, I thought about catching that one for a second. Because realistically, you know, we gotta... I can't do Dre dirty and have like an adamant Tentacool, right? We gotta get a halfway decent one. So I could always catch multiples of them, but... East of Pallet Town, yeah. Dog. This is just not it. Let's head back over to Pallet. This is kind of funny. I thought I was just gonna jump in there and don't do it for the level 6. Nah. I thought I was gonna jump in the water and just catch the first Tentacool, but the highest level we saw is 16, man. Give me something in the high 20s. 30 to 45 at around Cinnabar. Oh. Here we go then. Thank you, Jez. Whoa. What are you looking at, Mr. Fisherman? I ain't trying to battle right now. There ain't no way. I was really hoping that was going to say like 25 or something. Let's just get all the way around Cinnabar then and just do the thing over there. There's no way I'm getting this unlucky. They just have to be this low level. But what I thought would be a very simple hunt has turned out to be something very complicated here. And it's really not that complicated. You just jump in the water, you know? I guess I'm just misremembering how it works. Or they have a much higher odds to be at a lower level or something. This is weird. Anyway, we're down to Cinnabar. 15, a little better, but we can do better than that. We'll just surf back and forth right here. Maybe we'll run into a missing no. You never know, man. This is going to add a lot of extra time to the recording, though, that I was hoping to avoid. And like I said before, where are the encounters? But like I said before, this is another reason I don't really like to catch Pokemon during the recording. Because it ends up being a very tedious process. Just so we can say that we caught a Tentacool, I'm throwing a Pokeball at this one. And I'm gonna nickname it Dre. If I have to grind it up in levels, I will. Like, imagine if this is bold, modest, timid, calm, something like that. And we could work with this. I'm about to put this fool to sleep, too. Because at this point, we're almost 20 encounters in and haven't even seen a level 20 yet. Everything is... like, 80% of them have been less than level 10. A handful of them have been over, but all like 15, 16 at most. Dre, I don't know what you're trying to do to me, man. Where are the high level ones at? Oh, that's a good point. Super Rod. Right, the over level 100s, like with the missing no. That was hilarious back in the day. Alright. Welcome to the squad, Dre. I might just have to grind this one up from level 6. We'll see. That's crazy, bro. By the way, we need to tag this. We're going to go heal at the Pokemon Center to tag it as a fly point. And we'll see. Maybe this one has a cracked nature. But the cool thing about catching a higher level wild Pokemon is that you can kind of get a better idea about the IVs. And anything less than level 20, it's really hard to tell. Anything less than level 10, it's almost impossible to tell. So let's see, you never know. Jolly. Oh, I kind of do know, that's pretty bad. The Jolly Jellyfish? Again, natures don't really matter, but... yeah, let's do a couple with the fishing rod. That's a good call. And I think that's probably what you meant when you typed the thing about the high level ones. But I just assumed you meant by surfing. Ooh. That's a really good Pokemon right there. Unfortunately not a poison type, but I will be offline grinding for, you know, a competitively viable Staryu. Because I already told you guys, my buddies are going to come over to my house because they all have this game too. And we're going to actually do some competitive battles in this. And we're going to get after it. We're going to compete. Whoa, that is a wild Gyarados. At level, less than level 20. Man, both these are less than level 20 with the Super Rod too. I don't know what is going on right now. This is weird, man. Less than level 10. Yeah. Not a Krabby Patty. Okay. We're going to do like 4 or 5 more encounters to try to get a higher level Tentacool by surfing around. That was 0 for 3 with the fishing rod there. Although that's a good idea. But it was 3 different Pokemon. Oh, so this counts as like the other side of Route 20 more cracked? What is going on here? That's decent. But I know, right? This is going to be like 20 minutes of the episode just trying to find a jellyfish. It's crazy. But that's how it goes. Alternatively, what I do... well, that's getting better, but I need mid-20s, man. I'm not going to catch another one unless it's over level 20. We'll do like 3 more encounters. The alternative is I go grind for one offline, right? Because at least we have a Tentacool now. So, you know, at least I can update the party tracker here. And I might as well go ahead and do that now, even though Pidgeotto is still in the party, but... let's do this. Bellsprout is going to go for Tentacool. And just imagine Tentacool's in the party and not Pidgeotto. And there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your first look at the completed Poison-type only squad that is going to run through the rest of this game here. But I'm only going to do 1 more encounter for a jellyfish. Give me level 25 for no reason. Okay, I was going to do the last one in Cinnabar, but... at this point, we've seen about 30 jellyfish, maybe more. And not a single one of them has been level 20. I think 18 was the highest. 1 more encounter with Cinnabar instead of Route 20. But then we out, man. We out. Also, can't you get like wild Tentacruel? Isn't that probably like a 5%? Speaking of 5, that's a level 5. Alright. Well, it didn't work out perfectly, but it's okay. At least we have this as a fly location now, so we don't have to... I went to Golbat for fly. Let's do this. I do want to go back and make sure we grab the Amulet coin today, now that we are over 40. Although, I don't want to do it from this direction because I would have to wake up the final Snorlax. So we're gonna take the scenic route and go backwards up of Cycling Road. Look, we're trying to get a good quad workout today, right? So we're gonna go ride our bike uphill. It's gonna take a long time. Our quads are gonna be burning. They're gonna be on fire. We're gonna get the job done here. And I'm gonna leave Pidgeotto in the party because I'll fly out of there. So let's hope we can bob and weave. Well, actually, I didn't even check this gatehouse yet, but it's got to be the one up top, right? Yeah, for Amulet coin guy. I have to save that other Snorlax, though, because, again, to competitively battle my friends in this game, I need to, like, save and reset for a halfway decent Snorlax. The first one we caught, by the way, wasn't bad. It was an Impish Nature, which looked like it had halfway decent IVs, too. But I'll have to run it through the calculator later. I usually like to go up the other way. And let me see who's in front here, because we might have to battle a couple of these scrubs. We'll put Josh out there. No. Ninja has Psychic. Why not? Well, that was an unfortunate, you know, jellyfishing trip there. But it is what it is. We're sitting here, you know, we're pumping, we're pedaling. You guys can't see my legs right now, but I'm pedaling in my chair. Quads are just on fire. Absolutely burning right now. But it's a good workout, man. We're going to come out of this thing with some absolute tree trunks for legs. And we're chilling. We're bikers. We rule the roads, man. Yeah, well, you also have poison types and fighting types, so you're going to fold the Haunter and the Psychic. Come on, Billy boy. You got a muck. Hold on. Abort mission. Yeah, there's a world we could two-shot this, though. With a crit or a special defense drop right here. Okay. Neither. Right. I actually bought one of those from my garage, a stationary bike. It's a W. I like that thing. Okay, disable, but we dodge. Nice. Because it's different than doing cardio at the gym, right? You can always go do the treadmill or the bike at the gym. But I kind of like to do it in my own garage, because that way I can watch, you know, I can turn on the TV, turn it up loud. Easy money. It's kind of different in the gym. You got to put headphones on and like look at your phone. Whoops. Which is a much smaller screen. So yeah, a stationary bike in the garage was definitely a W. Oh, I got sniped. I'm mighty proud of my bod, kiddo. Come on. It's your Mickey D's looking body right here. What are you talking about, man? Guy got the beer belly over here. Who is Isaiah? Pounding Big Macs and slamming brewskis. Who is this guy? Exactly, yeah, don't have to listen to gym music, for real. That's like the main point. Oh, man. Music at the gym is always funny. Well, this guy has a whole ass Machamp? I did not know that. By the way, let me tell you guys another story about a great place to train up. So, back in the day, I love to utilize... I've talked about this one before, but I'm going to say it again in this recording, or like in this playthrough. So a good way that I used to level up my Pokemon, especially from Pokemon Emerald version, back in the day, to get them to like level 100, is I would trade them over here, right? Because if you trade them to a different game, they get the boosted experience points, right? If they have a different... OT, original trainer. So specifically this part up here where you don't have to worry about holding the joystick. Okay, because now we're on flat ground. So this group of bikers here, I'm going to try to bob and weave them all, by the way. No! Oh, he doesn't go that far, okay. No, I cooked. So here's a cool little hack for you guys. So you need to get the VS Seeker, which you get from the Pokemon Center in Vermilion City, right? But you can basically go on an endless loop right here to get some good training in. Especially the last like 2 or 3 bikers. After you battle them a few times, they start to have like level 50 Machokes and like Weezings and Mucks, right? So they give a decent amount of experience points. So basically what you do is you pull out the Versus Seeker, you battle whichever of these guys want to rebattle you, and then all you gotta do, because you have to recharge the VS Seeker, right? Like 100 steps. So what you do from this position is just fly back to Celadon City, heal at the Pokemon Center, ride your bike across town and back into Cycling Road, and that is more than enough than the 100 steps to recharge the VS Seeker. And it's just an endless loop. You just keep doing it over and over and over again. And if you do it with Pokemon with a different original trainer, right, whether they be from Emerald or like a different save file in Fire Red, Leaf Green, so that you get that boosted experience points with the Lucky Egg, oh, you can go crazy here. And it's a good way to get Mons up to level 100. Alright. Finally, though, we found this guy. Well, I knew he was here the whole time. I just didn't want to wake up the Snorlax, but let's finally get the Amulet coin, because I do have over 40 in the Dex. Yeah, buddy. We got 45. Okay. Not bad, not bad. And there we go. Just to showcase that Snorlax is still here. We'll wake this fool up later, but I can just fly around him. Okay, where are we at in the recording? We just hit the 1 hour mark. What else could we do today? I mean, what's next on the agenda is to go through Silph. But I'm going to wait until I actually have Tentacool leveled up, right? And also, I want to talk about Haunter for a minute here, so... Right now, I'm recording this on a Wednesday. I do plan to stream this again this weekend. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I have to get one of my buddies to come over to my house, or I could drive to their house, too. And, that's the only way to get Gengar, right? You gotta evolve Haunter via trading, so... I don't know which day this weekend I'm going to stream this. Is it going to be Saturday or Sunday? But with that being said, you know, if I do trade with my friends to get Gengar before next stream, then when I come back, I'll say this again in the outro and whatever in a half hour when we end the stream today, but there's a chance when we come back that I have a Gengar sprite preloaded up there. If I don't, that means I didn't trade, but if I did, that means I traded. Obviously. I don't even know why I explained that. That was like the most obvious thing ever, but either way, it's either going to be for... So this is part 6 right now that we're doing. So either part 7 or part 8, I will have Gengar. But it could be as early as part 7. If not, it'll be part 8. So we'll see. Just a little foreshadowing there. Okay. So Silph. Right. So we're going to do Silph next time. We probably do Sabrina as the 6th gym. So the next couple episodes will also take place in Saffron City. I'm just trying to think of the sequence of events. Like obviously we can go do Blaine next, but I'm probably gonna save that for Gym 7. Sabrina is gonna be the toughest one, and also I'm gonna have to grind some levels. But now that we have Amulet Coin, I can go back and like battle all the trainers that I've been skipping. Because we're gonna need Beedrill. Well, Beedrill and Josh mostly, right? Because look, having 6 poison types, everyone is weak to Psychic. So Sabrina is gonna be the toughest challenge in this game. Way harder than the Elite Four, but the saving grace in that is that, well, actually, if I get Gengar before Sabrina, then we can also probably outspeed. So because all 6 of my Pokemon are going to take super effective damage, I need to focus on outspeeding her. So if I have Gengar, Gengar has a good chance to outspeed a lot of her Psychic types, as does Golbat. Beedrill, not so much, but it can kind of... Beedrill's going to be the one that can hit the hardest with Twin Needle, right? Because Josh has Bite, which is a special attack, and Gengar's Ghost attacks are going to be physical attacks, so they won't hit as hard. But Beedrill is going to end up being the slowest out of the 3. Most likely. But I definitely need to level grind, as Koga nearly had level 40, so Sabrina is going to have over. Yeah, Ninja hold the Amulet Coin. Yeah, that's a good call. I might as well put it on now. But either way, I'm going to do some offline grinding with this team to... I'm just going to go back and rebattle trainers. Like, I don't need to record that, because there are a bunch of scrubby trainers. But I should head back to Celadon and purchase Thunderbolt for Ninja. Because I can also train that up in the water. And take out the water trainers with Venusaur and Ninja. Switch off the Amulet Coin on these two. That's probably what I'll do today, to kind of fill the rest of the episode. And then I'll have to train up Swizzle somewhere. I mean everybody, but... I need to leave Pidgeotto on the party to to keep flying me around here, but when I hit the YouTube outro eventually today, I'll swap Pidgeotto for... I went to the wrong place. We'll swap Pidgeotto for Tentacool. Stream and your buds battling? Yeah. Like if they were at my house? Or do you mean like Wi-Fi battles? Because I don't know how that would work. Because behind me there is a green screen, right? That's how it like blends in with the background. And why the webcam looks kind of weird. But I don't know how that would work. Because I don't know if both of us would like fit on the green screen. So I'd have to figure out how the dimensions would work for that. Let's go ahead and buy a whole bunch more coins. Try to get my hands on T-Bolt here. Well, I definitely can. But yeah, I'd have to figure out how to set up like a... At my house. Yeah. We'd have to do like a test. Well, we could test when we're trading, but I don't know how the connectivity works. Like the local connectivity. Because I think it'd be the best to have like try to fit one of my buddies on camera with me. But I guess if they were standing in the other room, you could at least hear their commentary. I don't know how best to play that, but it's definitely possible, you know. All right, 4,500 is good for one of the two. We're gonna get T-Bolt now. We'll get Ice Beam later for Tentacool. But yeah, that's a good idea. Which one was it? Far right? Yeah. And we need Thunderbolt for 4K. Perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and slap T-Bolt on Ninja, and then I'm probably just going to start the grinding process for the rest of the episode today. Because I don't... Oh, I gotta get rid of Surf off Nidoqueen. Okay, we're going to fly back down to... That's a good idea. And we'll put Surf on Tentacool, but I gotta get down to Fuchsia first. I don't really want to start the events of... What do I get rid of here? Curse actually kind of came in clutch right there. Shadow Punch would be useful against Sabrina, but not great. Again, I said I was going to run Psychic T-Bolt with like 2 coverage moves, but probably no stab attacks. Like Nightshade and Curse are the most useful non-stab attacks. But am I really going to run a Gengar that doesn't have Shadow Punch? Because I'm not even going to buy another copy of Shadow Ball. We already bought it and taught it to Golbat because it's a physical attack. Wait a minute, we got a little decision to make here. I kind of like Nightshade Curse. Yeah, I don't care about Shadow Punch. It's not even going to do that much. But again, with no like move relearner, this could be a bad idea. I'm gonna do it. I don't really care about Shadow Punch. Arguably, Shadow Punch is more useful than Nightshade, but I kind of feel like Nightshade would come in handy. I didn't really think about that until in that moment. I should have thought that. Should have thought about the moveset before the recording today, but that's how I roll. Okay, now we go in here. We take Surf off of Nidoqueen and replace it for Strength, and then we grab the rare candy as well. I still need to do that. Alright, let's get rid of Surf. And then okay, I was also thinking about in terms of evolution, would you guys miss anything as I grind in between episodes? But not really. The only Pokemon, it's just the 2 on the bottom that need to evolve. So Haunters by trading, which you will miss, because unless I trade, I could actually trade while I stream, I guess. That is a possibility. That is a possibility. But Tentacool evolving into Tentacruel, I'll make sure that I capture that on stream as well. It would just mean that Tentacruel will be under leveled for next episode, because I'm going to get it all the way until like right before it evolves, like I did with Gastly at the start of the day today. And then we evolve Tentacruel during the next episode, but, you know, when I go to fight what's her face? Sabrina. Tentacool's going to be kind of worthless in that fight because it's going to be too underleveled. It is what it is. Like I said, we need Gengar, we need Beedrill, and we need Golbat. 3 of those for that fight. Venusaur can also learn Strength. You know what? Having Strength... Yeah, that's good coverage. Psychic T-Bolt on Gengar. Having Strength on Venusaur might actually be the play. Like, look, Return is better, I get it. But I don't really want... Like, Strength on Nidoqueen is only temporary, right? Because eventually Nidoqueen's going to learn Superpower. So maybe we just throw something random on Nidoqueen. Should we fly back and use the Move Tutor for Mega Kick on for Nidoqueen until we learn Superpower? That might be a play. I don't really want to... TMs aren't reusable, so I don't really want to waste Return on Nidoqueen. I think Strength on Venusaur might be a play. Right, because Venusaur has... kind of has the space on the moveset, whereas Nidoqueen doesn't. And once... I think it's level 43, something like that for Superpower. Once I get there, I have to... If I still had Strength on the moveset, I'd have to get rid of something else for Superpower. And then, like, reteach that attack. Which, again, Flamethrower, Rock Slide, can't get those again. Well, I can get Flamethrower again. I think it's... Is Venusaur good with Strength? No. But it's... For this particular playthrough, it's better to have Strength on Venusaur. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and toss Poison Powder because I could teach this thing Toxic. Yeah, I think this is the play. Poison Powder can go. Because we can't get Sleep Powder or Leech Seed back if I want to get him back. But we can get Poison Powder back in the form of Toxic. Okay, so let me go talk to this guy again and just take Strength off Nidoqueen. I still want to give it a 4th attack, though, for the time being. So instead of Nidoqueen pushing around the big Strength boulders, we're just going to let Venusaur, you know, headbutt him and move him around there. Let's get rid of Strength. Again, these are all decisions I should have thought about before recording today, but that's what makes it... It's more fun to theorize with you guys and kind of build out the movesets. I'm glad I didn't, you know, think about it and figure it out beforehand. I like doing it with you guys. Alright, let's go ahead and have Venusaur push this thing out of the way. 1 extra rare candy for the pocket. Take that. And what do I put on Nidoqueen as kind of a filler move, you know? We could go back for Mega Kick, Mega Punch. Back over by Cerulean. Again, it's going to be a move that I never click, right? I'm never going to really use Mega Kick, so it'd kind of be a waste until I learn Superpower, but... Jazzy look like she gonna kick you if you mess around, you know what I mean? So maybe Mega Kick is a play here. Will I ever use it? I don't know. But when am I ever really going to use it in the actual playthrough? And now that we can surf, we can get back over there instead of having to go through Mount Moon. Okay, let's go do this. Let's go do this. Everybody knows Mega Kick is pretty garbage. Can I get back? There's no way to get back with cutting a bush, right? No. That's different ROM hacks where you can go there. You're getting EQ. For sure. Cause I don't like Dig. The 2-turn animation. And wasn't Dig only 60 base power in this game? Which generation? Eventually it gets buffed to 80 base power, but I think it's only still 60. Yeah. In this version of Gen 3, right? There's other Gen 3 ROM hacks where Dig is 80 base power. I think in one game it was actually 100, which was crazy. Okay, but yeah, if Dig is only 60, you're not rolling with that, Jazzy. You go get Earthquake when we beat Giovanni, for sure. Let me spray a Repel while I'm here too. And actually, in between episodes, we should be able to purchase Super Repels now that I have access to Cinnabar. So I'm going to do a little shopping in between episodes. Kind of sell off garbage stuff like Antidote, Paralyzed Heal, because we should be able to get full heals too. You know, X Speed, Nugget, X Accuracy. I'm just going to sell all that stuff. Don't need that anymore. Right. I have nobody with Surf. There goes that repel. But whatever. Let's go grab the jellyfish here. And teach it Surf. This is why people find HM moves annoying, because you gotta either have them all in your party or keep swapping around Pokemon to get access to all of them. We're gonna have to come right back and grab this Pidgeotto out the box, you know? Be able to fly around, but we'll do it later. Wait, Dig was 100 in Gen 1? Damn. That, I don't actually remember that. Alright, Dre. You'll be my little surfing buddy now. Although, gonna catch another Tentacool in between recordings for sure. I'm not gonna level this one up from level 6. Could I? Yeah, but it would take way too long to do. So, there's just no way. Okay, another repel. Let's go get Mega Kick for Jazz here. Who knows? Now that the repel's on, if we do get a wild encounter, that means it will be at least a level 28 Tentacool. Maybe this is the spot where it happens. I don't know. Imagine we just like the screen starts like going white because that means equal to or greater than level. But we did not get an encounter. Pain. Don't we get like a TM for Roar or something? Oh, we get a battle. What? I don't remember that. I came to Mount Moon in search of a mushroom Pokemon. Why? Parasect is garbage. You might be the first person that's ever looking for a Parasect. Kind of high level, too. What is this? We probably can't even Oko this. It is a Paras, you know, but it doesn't have great defenses, but... It's a Paras with Spore? That's wild. Okay. You want to play this game? We can go right out into a Pokemon with a flying attack. Start smoking these easily in one hit here. I feel like if that was her dialogue, she's probably going to have like triple mushrooms here. It also begs the question, why isn't that one already a Parasect? Doesn't Paras evolve before 31? I don't remember because this Pokemon is pretty garbage. I never use it. But I feel if I had to guess, this thing evolves somewhere between level 24 to 28. That'd be my guess. So she's out here like searching for a wild Parasect when she could have already... She does have one. Okay. Anyway. Good news is we do get a level up off this. We would not get a level up if that was another Paras. But because it's Parasect, we get almost double the experience of what Paras was giving out. Not bad. Okay. Not bad. Is there any hidden items in here, by the way? I don't think so. Nope. I think the TM for Roar was actually... I thought she gives it to us, but I think the Roar TM was like in a Pokeball right here. Alright, Jazzy. You now have the power to kick anybody really hard if they're bugging you. I think it's this guy. Yeah. A kick of brutal ferocity, packed with destructive power. When you get right down to it, Mega Kick is the ultimate attack. Don't you agree? I do not agree, because it has horrible accuracy. The base power is pretty sweet. Alright. Let's do it. Again, this is a waste of this one and only move Tutor use here, because I'm going to be replacing it with Superpower at some point. Now, we are soulmates in the way of kicking. You should run before you're seen by the deluded nitwit who trains only simple punching over there. Well, both these attacks suck, man. I'm pretty sure Mega Punch has 85 accuracy. It's either 85-80 or 80-85. And Mega Kick is like 120-75, right? Yeah, 120-75. Mega Kick is way better than Mega Punch. But they both have garbage accuracy, so... you know, neither one of these are really that good. We'll put it over here. Seriously. The Paris lady. Alright, and I already grabbed the hidden Great Ball, right? Yeah. Okay, now we need to go back for Pidgeotto. Let's hop back over the ledges here. And I'm trying to think of what else. What else do we do today in preparation to go through Silph next time? I don't even really want to set foot in the building. That's probably where I'm going to save the game and hit the outro from eventually, is I'm going to go stand over by Silph when I do that. Which we're getting pretty close. I can only go for about another 10 minutes here. I still don't have today's YouTube video uploaded, right? I'm going to... The stream yesterday, I was going to say Polished Crystal. The Fire Red Team Rocket that we streamed yesterday, that will be today's YouTube video. But I haven't made the thumbnail yet or uploaded the file to YouTube, so I gotta do that. And then still make breakfast too before I head off to work, so I might even end the stream a little bit earlier than I normally do, but this is around the time when I get off anyway. But let me think before we go hit the outro in Saffron. What else can we do now that we have access to Surf, right? What other items can we get? Look around the map real quick. We could go down to the power plant. We could do the power plant today. There's really not much out in the water here, right? Well, there's like a TM for payday. We will check out Seafoam. Like, in this playthrough, I'll still go catch... Well, I don't know if I want to commit to catching the legendary birds. Even if I go through Power Plant right now, I'm not going to try to catch Zapdos. It's going to take too long. Electabuzz? Isn't Electabuzz... I think Electabuzz is Fire Red only, unfortunately. Yeah. Exactly, we could surf to Power Plant. That was tough that I chose LeafGreen, but I did it because Venusaur and the Poison-type only run, but... I love Electabuzz. Great Pokemon. We can still go grab the items through here, though, and, like, run right by Zapdos. I could be wrong, but I think Electabuzz is Fire Red only. Okay, let's go ahead and... let's go ahead and swap Pokemon again for the Tentacool. And then we'll have to go get Pidgeotto back out to fly to Saffron. Let's do a quick run through here and see if we can get the items. Just for the heck of it, because I don't even remember what all the items are in here, apart from the Thunder TM. But let's do it. Who also, I guess Nidoqueen would be the best to take all these Mons out, right? Yeah, so let's do this. Let's at least check the box that we went through the power plant, although... Actually, not although. Probably because I'm not going to commit to catching the 3 legendary birds on stream. Only because I want to save and reset multiple times to get good natures on the birds. And good IVs. So the birds is probably something... You know what? We can fight this guy with the Amulet coin real quick. Even though I think he has a Lickitung, so Haunter's... Actually, Haunter's not bad because I have Psychic. So yeah, the legendary birds is something that I'll do on my own time, outside of recording. Oh, he has a Rhyhorn. Interesting. I think he might have Rhyhorn Lickitung. I don't know why, but I remember this guy having the tongue. And then, so at least, like, we can go through here now, and also go through Seafoam and stuff. Oh, that might Oko if he gets 5. Hold on to your, hold on to your seats. No way he got all 5. What a douche. Whatever. We'll go to Venusaur to take this thing out. At least, the Amulet coin still comes into effect. That was unfortunate there. And yeah, so I'll still go through Seafoam in the playthrough to, like, grab the items and stuff. Maybe catch some more Pokemon while we're at it, but I'm not going to bother with Articuno either. It does have Lickitung. Not even strong enough to two-shot. But you know what? That's okay, because now we get to click Strength for the first time in the playthrough. See the animation there. Then we'll just take it out with another Leaf. But not bad overall. Productive episode, especially because we got the... Well, we finally caught the last member to the team, although... This is a placeholder, Tentacool. I'm going to come back with another one, but... We do now have 5 gym badges through 6 episodes. Not too shabby, if I'm being honest. And almost 3k off that guy, 2,700 because the Amulet coin. Okay, but Jazzy gonna go in front and just one-shot all these electric types. I'm gonna repel my way through here as much as I can. But I think I only have 5 more. Really, I'm just gonna kind of speedrun this place just to grab the items. Whatever this is at least level 34. Magneton, it's okay, exactly 34. So that's where Jazz was at. Well, can we hit a mega kick? I just want to chip it and see if I can catch it real quick. Let me see how many attempts it takes to land a mega kick. Just so it's not at full HP. That might be a minus, like a minus physical defense nature. That did way too much there. Let's head out here to Sprouts, put this thing asleep. I'm gonna sling some great balls at it. Because if this thing has a good nature and good IVs... oh, that's the wrong button. I will be training this up to battle against my friends with, so... I meant to put it to sleep there. Swing and a miss. Now we get confused. Just wonderful. That's alright. Eventually, through sheer determination, I will connect a sleep powder, just like that. Now we're gonna catch this thing. Not bad. But I'm gonna use a Great Ball. Again, because this could be something that I transfer into Gen 10. So that's why. And any Pokemon that I'm gonna do, like, you know, something like that with. Like the Diglett that I caught. I caught a really good Diglett over in the cave in this game. So I'm gonna make sure I use Great Balls on all those Pokemon. We'll check that out later once we go grab Pidgeotto. Okay, there goes the first Repel. I'm gonna intentionally go the wrong way here. Also, I might need a Super Potion real quick. Because I want to go the wrong way first to grab the items over here. And then we'll come back and go the correct way. Although I think one of these two is actually an Electrode. I think the first one is. Yeah, that's an Elixir. Oh. Oh. I did not remember that Protect TM was in here. Interesting. Actually, not bad. I just remember about the TM for Thunder down here. I kind of thought that was just going to be an Electrode. There it is. This is free experience points, though. Also, if it... I was going to say Dig is going to be an easy one-shot, but if somehow this thing tanks a Dig, I'll sling a Great Ball at it. Why not? Let's see here. You know, it's a stab Dig, and Electrode has pretty bad defenses and HP, so I don't think there's a chance. But there's always a chance, man. Jazzy, how are you not strong enough to OHKO this fool? It works out better, though, because I need it for the Dex. And there goes that chance. By the way, catching an Electrode in a Great Ball is, you know, that's one Pokemon that you should catch in a Pokeball, but I was checking for items. But again, like I said earlier, I like to have uniformity in my teammates. So that's why I'm still going to catch them all in Great Balls. But in terms of aesthetically pleasing captures, what's more perfect than Voltorb and Electrode in a regular Pokeball? kind of feel like there was something else down here, though. Not just thunder. No? Must have been a different iteration of Kanto, as they've remade this game 100 times now. Thunderstone. Perfect. Save me a little bit of money. Okay, Electrode number 2. Let's see if this one can tank a dig. Or if the first one was like a Bold Nature with a 31 IV. That seemed odd that it lived a dig so easily. Now let's hope we catch it, or it does not blow up again. It could have self-destructed right there, which would have been annoying. Does this one live too? Wow, maybe this one's Bold Nature. The static is kind of annoying. I'm going to make a play and see if I can put it to sleep. That'll make the capture almost a guarantee, but I'm giving it 2 turns to blow up here. Decisive Sonic Boom, which is good. Now don't miss the Sleep Powder. Okay. As long as I don't get full parrot here, we might connect Sleep Powder. Oh, baby. What a great turn. That just means it was destiny that we catch this Electrode. We dodge the paralysis on Spark, which is 30%, and we connect the 75% Sleep Powder. It's meant to be, although I don't think Electrode appreciates trying to be captured in a Great Ball. I think it would work better if I throw a Pokeball, but I'm not going to. And I'm going to go out on a limb if we do catch this. Okay, good, he stays asleep. And I'm going to predict this has a physical defense boosting nature. Either, you know, relaxed, bold, something like that, because this one took even better damage. Or even less damage. Okay. We're going to go check that out in the box. It could just have, like, the first one could have been like a mild nature or something that lowers Phys Def. Lonely, hasty, whatever. But, obviously, this one took the dig even better. Also, you know, might have nothing to do with nature. It could just be it could have good HP and good Phys Def IVs, but we're about to find out once we get out of this place. There should be one more item, I think. Also, I feel like there's a hidden item somewhere in here that I'm not remembering. There has to be a hidden item somewhere in here. I just don't remember where it is. Okay, that was it for items. We saved the electric chicken for another day. Yeah, that was a good catch. Alright, perfect. We get to spray our last repel here. Because again, in between episodes, I'm going to buy a whole bunch of super repels, hyper potions, and, well, I guess we'll see what else. But mainly those 2 things. Oh, full heals. So I'm going to spend a lot of money, which is not great because I still need to purchase Ice Beam for Tentacool for 80k, right? We're only halfway to Ice Beam, but I'm probably going to spend all 40k on repels, full heals, and hyper potions down on Cinnabar Island and just break the bank. And then we come back. Well, I'm also going to, now that I have the Amulet coin, battle a bunch of trainers around the region. I'm going to go back to older routes. You guys, you know, you're not going to miss anything in terms of future trainers. I'm not going to battle ahead, but like, I'm going to do all the trainers out on the water so we don't have to do those during the recordings. But we need to get Pidgeotto back here. Well, let's check out Magneton and Electrode here. See what we got. Naive Nature, a little speed boost at the cost of lowering Spidef. Not the worst nature. Not great, but not the worst. It all depends about what those IVs are looking like, so I'll have to calc those later. And then for Electrode, we got Jolly, which is terrible. I mean, the speed boost is nice, but lowering special attack is not good for an electric type. 118 speed is cracked, though. Again, I'm going to show off the stats. That way, if any of you guys randomly want to, you know, for yourself, you know, if you want to throw these in the calculator on Showdown, kind of see what the IVs are looking like. Again, there's what they were, but I'm going to do that myself, just not during the recording. Try to see if I can gauge, you know, these are both at level 34, so you can get a pretty good idea of where the IVs are at here. But anyway, let's take Pidgeotto back. It doesn't matter who I swap it for, because I'm just flying to Saffron, and then we're gonna go ahead and save and cut it off there. But not bad. Not bad. Very, very productive episode today. And yeah, that's basically what's going to go down. Again, I'll you know, re-hit that again in the outro, but... Well, I guess let me just grab Tentacool. But it's basically going to be 3 things that I work on. You know, it's just a little bit of offline grinding. But it is noteworthy because up until this point, I haven't really grinded the team offline. I've just grinded like the recent captures, so... It's been a while, probably since like episode 2, where I did a little bit of offline grinding. Just to kind of play catch up with the rest of the team, right? But, let's see, what's a good spot to save? It's symmetrical that way if I stand on this side of the door. Okay. We got 47 in the decks. Not bad. Only 13 away from 60 where we get Nat Dex post-game, but let's talk about a couple things here during the YouTube outro on the way out the door. But mainly around levels, right? So, first things first, let's talk about Dre, the Tentacool, right? We finally have the team put together, although, like I said a few times today, I don't really feel like raising this thing up from level 6, and also, I would if it was like bold or modest or calm or timid, but it's jolly nature, so let's be real. Even though I decided to roll with the same mild nature Gastly, I ain't doing that with Jellyfish. I can't do Dre dirty like that. We gotta find a bold, calm, timid, modest. Something like that. Ideally. I'd take Hasty, you know, something like that. But that's the play. So first things first, I'm gonna catch another Tentacool, okay? Then I'm gonna level it up just to, you know, right 1 level below the point of where it evolves. Kind of like I did setting up today for Gastly evolving into Haunter. So that's step 1. Step 2 in between episodes is I probably get everybody else, you know, like between level 38 to 40. The only one that won't is going to be Dre here. Because I think it evolves at 30, right? So we're going to come back and have level 29, I think. Because I'm pretty sure it evolves at 30. For Tentacool, everybody else will probably be level 40. As that's what I'm going to need for Sabrina. And then we come back next time. We do the events in Silph, right? We dominate Gary yet again in this playthrough. And then also take down Giovanni again. Get the Master Ball. Then we jump into Sabrina's gym and get the 6th gym badge. So a lot to happen during next episode in part 7. Apart from that, we might come back with a Gengar if I trade with my buddy before. But I'm also going to explore the idea of doing that on stream too, so that's also an option. At some point, either part 7 next time or part 8, we will have Gengar. I just don't know yet. And then the last thing to talk about during the outro here revolves around money. So now that we do have Amulet Coin, like I said a few times, I'm going to grind mostly on wild Pokemon, but I'm going to beat up most of the trainers that we already skipped over just to maximize my cash flow, right? And to try to afford Ice Beam, as well as a bunch of potions and repels, so, and full heals. So a lot to, you know, look forward to, but also a lot of grinding. I'm going to get it ready and I'm going to stream it again this weekend, but that's kind of the play. Everybody at level 40, except for Tentacool, because I don't want to miss the Evo on stream. Even though I could also level up Tentacool all the way to 40 and just keep denying the evolution every time, but I don't know. That's an option on the table and something I don't know how I want to play yet. But maybe I find like a wild level 35 Tentacool or something like that, because I think that's possible too. I'll consult Cerebi.net and see where I can get the highest level Tentacool, and that's also a play too. So we'll see. But a lot going down here in the next couple episodes. But it's exciting, man. It's been fun to have all you on this journey with me, man. The all poison squad is good. It's something I've never done before because poison types are not very good. But if there's ever a region to do it in, these are 6 very powerful poison types here, so I think it's going to work out pretty good. I like it. Yeah, exactly, right? I might do that with Tentacool. I might do that. Just get it all the way to like level 39 or 40, but just every time I'll spam B and not let it evolve into Tentacool. Because I do want to capture all the Evos on camera. Although with that being said, I don't know about trading on camera, but we'll see. So that's how it's all going to go down. And, yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out today. And to anybody that is finding this video in the future on YouTube, this is going to conclude part 6 in the LeafGreen playthrough using only Poison-type Pokemon. And we finally got the full team set in stone that we will be going all the way through the Elite Four with. So, next time, we climb this building, we smoke Gary and Giovanni, and then we also do the same against Sabrina. Although, next episode might be the craziest in the playthrough because even though I'm going to do a lot of grinding, maybe I don't go all the way to 40, maybe like 37, 38, because then we still go through Silph. Sabrina going to be tough, man. If I don't outspeed her Alakazam, we're going to be in for a dogfight, so stay tuned. Part 7 coming soon. I'll stream it this weekend. Probably get it uploaded to YouTube middle of the week next week. And yeah, for anybody that's finding this video in the future on YouTube, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the action today. And I also hope that you have a good day wherever you go after watching this video. Alright, take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.